food truck was born out of a little bit of desperation. When the economy turned bad, I was laid off from my job as a graphic designer, and I wanted to get back into something more exciting, and food was always that thing. And when I thought about who I would like to run a business with, I thought of Jessie.
So she kind of had approached me and was like, I really like to talk to you. We should kind of do something on our own. So she presented me with the idea of grilled cheese, which we were going to do as a restaurant at first. Like a whole grilled cheese, old-timey cafe kind of thing was our vision. And then nobody wanted to give us money for that.
So we just settled for the food truck, which turned out to be really a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
It was beautiful and chaotic and a whirlwind of just busy and exciting, and it was way more than we ever expected it to be.
But we really had no model other than, the taco trucks or the trucks that would just kind of go. They would have 8 spots a day, and they would only stop for, 20 to 30 minutes, feed a few people, and then move on to the next business. So as far as what we wanted to do, there was no other food trucks doing it.
We were the first gourmet lunch truck in Reno, followed very closely by Kinji's. We saw their truck just days before we opened our truck. It was just like, oh my gosh, who's that? What are they? And they ended up being kind of one of our best food truck friends out there.
Reality TV helped us a little bit in that, because there was like the Food Truck Wars or, those type of shows that are on the Food Network. So it had kind of already presented people with this food truck culture, and they were really excited for it to come to Reno.
It exploded. There was so many trucks I couldn't even keep track. Every week there was a new truck opening.
I know we were named, I think it was 6th best grilled cheese truck in the United States, and then several top 100 different lists of food trucks. News and Review, we got best food truck for 4 years. It was definitely motivating and rewarding for all our hard work, and I think it was also very shocking. We're just 2 girls from Reno wanting to do something on our own and make some good food and make people happy, but never would I have imagined that we would have been top 10 grilled cheese trucks in the United States. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
2 Chicks happened literally in a day. We got a phone call from Jessica from Junkie, and she was talking to us, and she really felt Midtown needed breakfast. So she called us. We were prepping on the truck, to get lunch service going. So we started talking about it while we were prepping, all through lunch service. We had come up with the name. We had come up with the menu and the style that we wanted.
I think we were at the point we needed to be. We had saved up enough money to open our restaurant. We found the perfect location. And as we thought about, should we keep the truck, we just started seeing the saturation of the market. And we just thought, no, let's not.
I was freaking out, but it wasn't freaking out to the point where I didn't think it was a good idea, especially after, doubling our size, doubling our lease, and the amount of money that we would have to put into it. I was just nervous. We did get so lucky with GourMelt, and people were so good to us that I'm like, I hope they'll continue that, but there's always that chance that, we wouldn't be as successful. So it was definitely scary, but it was never we're not going to do that.
I'm an eternal optimist, so I always thought, yeah, we have to do good, we're going to do good. I put that kind of energy out there. That's just the way my brain works. Of course, I've had those fears that cross my mind that people are going to try it and then it'll be the new fad and then it'll go away. But I think definitely because of the location and because we have a good product, people keep coming back. Week 1. Week of hell. This seats 104, and it was completely full the first week, and I don't think we were as staffed as we needed to be. The staff was all running around like we don't know what we're doing. None of us knew what we were doing. It was just chaos. There was a fire on the third day? First day. Something caught on fire. The toaster caught on fire. That was awful. It was good and bad. I mean, we just really were surprised by how full we were. If it had been slower and people had paced themselves in here gradually, it would have been a lot easier, but it was just completely full. And, we were just doing our best, scrambling around and cooking a brand new menu. And
I mean, we market ourselves and advertise ourselves to be busy, but I wish we could add a little time when we opened, some slower moments to kind of iron things out.
And it was, in retrospect, just like, I don't want to live through that again.
It was so much different than the truck, because it was just Haley and I, and we had our hands in every single part of it, like where we're going to store things and the flow of things and how everything's going to go. Everybody with all this different experience and all these, different procedures and things that they could bring to the table, it really kind of helped us set it up before. I mean, we've obviously worked in a lot of restaurants ourselves, but never really opening one.
I think we did really well, and I've been to brand newly opened restaurants, and I know they have things to work out. I understand that things are not going to run like super efficiently. I know that even corporate places take teams of people and take them to the new place so that they can show the new guys how to run it, and it still takes them months to get it right. So I was hoping that people were a little bit more generous, but yeah, we had some complaints, we had some bad reviews. Most people were really cool about it and understood and came back and still come back. But we had a couple that stung pretty bad. I remember just really crying about a Yelp or two about how awful our first day was.
The cook times for the food, it was a really, really long time. When you haven't really got your groove, their timing together is off because they don't have any time to work together and really kind of get in a system. So ticket times were crazy long, and people were mad. And I mean, a lot of people were understanding, but you can only be understanding for so long. You're hungry, you want your food. So that was really hard in the beginning.
I'm surprised almost every week. We keep hitting these, this is our best day. No, this is our best day. This is our best day. And it's just, I'm always surprised at the line at the door or how many people have been recommended to us.
I feel like I don't have that deer in the headlights look at all times like we did when we first opened. Just like on the truck, things break here, which is crazy because everything's brand new. But, so in a lot of ways it's exactly the same. You never kind of know what you're walking into each day, which is also part of the great thing about it. You never know 2 days are ever the same.
We're better staffed as far as the number of people it takes to run this restaurant on a busy day. You have to have 5 servers, a bartender, somebody that's running food, 3 cooks, a prep person, and a dishwasher, and 2 bussers. I mean, and when we first started, we had 1 busser, 3 cooks, 3 servers, Jessie and I just putting out fires, and then a prep cook some of the days. Now we have a prep cook every single day that's prepping. Sometimes we have 2. That's how much the volume of food has increased since we opened. We have to have somebody here every day prepping the food for the next day. It's crazy.
having employees is the most difficult part. But it's also the best part too.
That's definitely been the hardest adjustment, is Jessie and I just depended on each other, knowing that we're reliable, knowing what we're capable of, knowing each other very well. And then a staff of 20 people or more sometimes, or less at sometimes, but just not knowing who you can trust or who's reliable, or what they're capable of even, and just getting to know these different personalities. And that's been the thing for sure that's been the most difficult to adjust to.
It was easy to find a staff that we thought was going to be good. And in the first month, I think we lost upwards of 10 maybe back of the house people. We were kind of busy right off the bat, which is great, but it's also kind of a curse because you don't get to get your footing and, everything kind of locked down and ironed out. So I think it was stressful. The kitchen is the most stressful job in a restaurant, being back in the kitchen and having to, you don't get a break back there, and everything kind of falls down on you. Some people in the industry just want kind of like an easy job, and this isn't that. It's so busy in there. You are constantly working. From the minute you get here until the minute you leave, you're running around. So I think it was hard for people.
I think we've found our groove. It's fun now. The team is really fun. We all get along, and I really like them all, and I think that they like us, which is good. And there's a lot of just fun and friendship happening. It makes for a good atmosphere. I think people can feel that when they come in. We do team outings and try to keep, everybody just getting along and showing them that they are our family and they are important to us. We had to relinquish some control, which is a hard thing to do
because I like to control everything and I like everything done my way. But I realized that if I ever want to not be here 24/7, that I have to let people do it their own way.
We had to just trust and train people enough to where they can be able to be here, get everything done, make sure that we're geared up for the day.
The first few months we were both here 7 days a week, open to close. I'd say for about the first 4 or 5 months we were doing that, and then we started taking a day off each. It wasn't even really a real day off. I would always kind of run an errand or, still do something for the business.
For me, I was ready for some sleep, but I think it's hard. It's your baby. You want everything to be perfect. So you just kind of cross your fingers and hope that these people do what you asked them to do and show up at 5 in the morning. I think the first day that I was off and didn't come in here to go to the store and drop stuff off, it was weird. Like, I wanted to call Haley and text her all day and be like, how is everything? How's business? How many tables have we had? Tell me everything. But you can't be like that. You have to have a life outside of the restaurant, and I can do that now. We have opposite days off now, so we really only work together on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And those are the busiest days in the restaurant. So it's hard to sometimes communicate the things that need to get talked about to each other. So we have to whine and just discuss things.
It's definitely different. It's not the truck where we spent 8 hours every single day together, just me and her. We're still really close. We had dinner last night. We just have to find time and make time, outside of work, which we always did also, but it's more precious time that we spend together. Probably like the number one question that I get is if I miss the truck or, which I liked better.
I miss it just being Jessie and I and just relying on each other. I miss going to different places and the events a lot, like, Earth Day or just the fun events where little kids have their faces painted and talking to people one-on-one more. But I don't miss it that it's hot, and I don't miss that there's no bathroom, or it's freezing, or, you know, little things like that.
A dramatic day at the restaurant. I always miss the truck. Miss just me and Haley making grilled cheese on a broken truck.